and Dad, welcome back to my second video of the 2 that I'm going to cook for you. I wanted to do 3, but I am running out of time to kind of get them done, so I am sending you 3 meal kits, but I know that you're gonna do great at cooking the 3rd one. Hopefully if it's picked right, it'll be salmon. But I am gonna cook this one for you today. And as far as I can find in the pickup click list at your store, they do have the same ones I'm using. So fingers crossed. So yes, today, and this last video was 47 minutes long, and I will try my best not to have it that long, but it really is just the cooking time and waiting. I'll try to go as quickly as I can so you're not sitting here forever. Listening to me talk. So anyway, today we are doing the Argentinian-Style steak flautas. They're basically like, I guess I always think of them as like the chicken flautas, the ones that are wrapped in the tortillas at El Charro. But they're steak version. And the meat that they use is a very thinly sliced steak strips. Oh shoot, they said it on the package. Sirloin steak, I believe it was. So we're doing that today. And then for the ingredients, we have steak, onions sliced thinly, tomatoes. Actually, the tomato that they gave me was rotten. About half of it was rotten. So I don't have very many, but I mean, tomatoes. And then included in this box was chimichurri sauce, which is parsley, garlic, vinegar, olive oil, and chili powder. It didn't come with any ingredient information, but I'm assuming that if you go to their website, it can tell you how much sugar is in their packaged sauces and stuff. And then I have tortillas, which I will tell you that if you do end up doing this one, yes, I know you're trying to get rid of all the carbs. They do have carb-free tortillas. So you can definitely use these to substitute for the regular flour tortillas. I wouldn't use corn. I would probably try to stick with the flour just because that's kind of what makes the flauta, I think. But yeah, they do have carb-free tortillas that you can use. And then there is sour cream. And then there's holy guacamole. So this one actually does give you the nutrition facts, and it contains only 1 gram of sugar and 300 milligrams of sodium. That's 13% of your daily value, which actually isn't too bad because your normal daily value is 20%. So to have it be 13% isn't too bad. So it's not too high in sodium, but you can make your own guacamole and then mix the salt all together if you want, since you should be doing low sodium too. But yes, there's also 0 grams of trans fat in here, 0 grams of cholesterol. But this is by a brand called Holy Guacamole, and they do sell these in our store. So these are kind of a healthier alternative to guacamole. And then we have mozzarella, shredded mozzarella. And I do recommend, and I buy this pretty often, buying the low moisture or the low fat mozzarella. That will be the better one for you. It'll have the least amount of oil. Oh, my pan's already getting hot. I'm not done talking here. And then there is water. Because oh look, I got to use my cups. Water, because there is a little bit of water in the recipe. And then salt and pepper. Yes, the reduced sticker. Leave my reduced stickers alone. I save money. And then I always use olive oil. And the recipe doesn't include it, but I love using garlic. I actually Googled if garlic was good for people with diabetes. I actually Googled quite a few things to give you a bit of information here while we do this. So I'm gonna quickly just look up the garlic. Just give me a moment. Garlic significantly improves blood glucose control and also has significantly positive roles in blood liquid regulation. So it's really good for you. And if you hear the dogs in the back, that's Dottie being a jerk. She's bullying the others. Whatever reason. Oh, I think I left her food out. That's probably why. Oh no, I'll have to go fix that real quick when I have a second. And then let's see, I actually came with like plenty of spoons today compared to the last one. Spoons, scissors, hopefully I didn't forget anything. So we're gonna start by heating up a saute pan, and I'll move the camera here in just a second. And then the recipe has you cook the flautas in a pan, just flipping them. But I also have a similar recipe in HelloFresh, and I like it better because it bakes it. So you don't have to use all the oil that you're going to have to use in this recipe. You can just spray a sheet pan down with just a teeny bit of oil so it doesn't stick, and then pop it in the oven. I believe, let's see, I wrote it down here. You bake it at 425 for 12 minutes, and I actually like that. I actually like that better. They come out really crispy. You don't get all this oil. I mean, you could brush a little bit of olive oil, but yeah, that is an alternative, especially if you want to warm your house up during these winter months. But for this video's sake, I am going to do it in the pan because I am not going to edit. So yeah, another long video. I'm not editing. Sorry, it's kind of what you get with someone that's got a million things going on. Anyways, oh, this is getting really hot. It's burning my arm hairs. So I've got some 2 pans, and so the recipe has you start by sauteing the onions first. However, when I do these recipes, because it doesn't tell you to drain any of the fat once you cook the meat. So you end up cooking, you put oil in your pan with the vegetables, and then you cook that, and then you add the meat, and that creates so much more grease and so much fat. And then while you're eating the product, the item, the food, whatever, it's just like dripping in grease. So I have learned by doing these to cook your meat first, set it aside on a plate with a paper towel so it drains, and then go ahead and do your vegetables. If you'd like, you can use just a little bit of that fat in the pan. Otherwise, you can use olive oil, which is healthier. I'm hoping, Dad, because I know you and you are a little bit like Louis, you just love fat and the meat fat. And yeah, I try to cook a little bit less fat, as healthier as I possibly can. But yes, that is better. And, get rid of all that fat. So we're gonna go ahead and start. I'll heat up my pan here. I got a couple of things to talk to you about, so I don't want to forget that while I'm just going on. Do a little bit of olive oil. And this is just because the steak that we have is very low in fat, and I don't want it to stick to the pan. But don't forget, we're going to be draining this fat, or I'm sorry, we're going to be draining this meat onto a paper towel. And I might as well just move you over a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I apologize for my lack of camera skills here. That's about a good length. I'm not going to burn anything. I'm not going to talk into the microwave like I did the last video. It'd be nice to kind of get rid of that. But anyway, so just like before, you want to wait for this to smoke. And then we are going to add our meat. I'm going to, because I pulled it off, it's not as hot as I'd like it to be. I will also try to talk a little louder because I realize I talk very softly into whatever I'm doing, so I will try to speak louder. If not, turn up the volume. I don't have a mic. I'm not professional here. Just doing this for fun. Doing this because I love you guys and I wanted to give you a nice Christmas gift, and so you get to see my face too and hear my lovely voice. Anyway, I feel like this is probably hot enough. It may not sizzle. Excuse me, chef. It may not sizzle. Ooh, it actually sizzled. And oh, by the way, My chefly manners left me yesterday and I didn't try my food. It was actually really good. I did, however, add a little bit of salt to the couscous, which is fine because I tend to cook by layering, and then if I feel like it needs more salt, then I'll add it. But I always feel like lower the sodium is better because, you know, I sleep in my hands well. So that's obviously, you know, a good thing. So reduce the sodium. See, the meat's already sticking to the pan. But I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And I also don't know how salty their sauces are, so I always go a little bit light in anticipation of their sauces being saltier. So I'll let that cook for a second. Pick up my towel that I dropped. And while that's cooking, I might as well tell you my fun facts. I've been shopping on the Fry's website so that I could get these to you instead of mailing everything, which is obscenely expensive. I figured it's much easier to order it at your store and have you pick it up at your store. But I wanted to also give you a couple of things, a couple of items to just say, here, this is good for diabetics. I did some research into it, and these types of foods are really good. I didn't want to give you too many sweets because I know you guys just kind of came from Christmas, and I know you got some candy, so plus diabetic or sugar-free stuff, you tend to eat more of it, so it goes really fast and it's super expensive. So I tried to not get you so many sweets because obviously the sweets is where the problem is, so the less you have of that, the better. But I wanted to give you some foods that you could eat that's actually really good for you and help you with your blood sugar. So one thing that I have is I looked up what kind of nuts would be really good. So when I looked up what kind of foods diabetics can eat, it gave me this whole list of like fruits and vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, like potatoes aren't good. Trying to think of other non-starchy vegetables. Potatoes aren't good. Squash is really good for you. Just like I mentioned in the last video, spaghetti squash is really good, which I think is one of those things I'm going to add to your list if your store has it. I haven't gotten that far yet. But nuts, because I know, Dad, you like to snack on nuts. So one thing it said is not to eat walnuts, because walnuts have, let me see, walnuts are known to have more fibre, if I'm pronouncing that right, as compared to other nuts. Fibre, it's not fiber, I promise, it's not spelled like that. Fibre tends to digest slowly, resulting in spikes in blood sugar. So you definitely don't want that. So walnuts are not good to have. So if you're doing mixed nuts, walnuts are definitely not really great to have. Cashews, however, are really great to have. Cashew nuts have a low glycemic index that helps in regulating blood sugar levels in people with diabetes. The cashew seed extract has anti-diabetic properties. It helps in lowering high blood pressure and helps maintain a healthy heart, which I think we already knew that cashews were good for your heart. But cashews are really good for diabetics as well. Another nut that it gave me was pistachios and peanuts. So, I mean, if you have a low sodium mixed nuts, you can have all of those. Just try to avoid walnuts. And almonds were on the list as a good nut to eat too. So I'll probably be sending you some of those. And then, let's see, apples. When I looked up what type of fruit, obviously, excuse me, fruits that have really high sugar, like oranges and grapes. Bananas have a lot of sugar, that a lot of starch, that's not great for you either. But I came across apples, And also in my research, I've come across that some of the sugar-free items out there, it's harder for your body to digest that type of stuff. So if you do have a choice, having a more natural sugar is going to be better than trying to eat one of those sugar-free type things, because a lot of times they use a sugar substitute that just doesn't digest in our bodies very well. But also, if you do that, you have to know if you're going to eat natural sugars, you want to do it in moderation. So, but apples, however, are really good. Let me drain this, and then I'll read my little Google excerpt. So, I don't know if you can see my plate here in the back, but there's quite a bit of oil coming off of this. I didn't actually put in too much olive oil. I just did enough to coat the pan. But yeah, we'll get rid of all of that. And I didn't save any of it, which is fine. So I'm gonna put this back on, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil for the onions. I promise you it's just a little bit. Coat our pan. And since this was just on, I probably don't have to wait for it to heat up. Oh yeah, nice. Nice little sizzle. So I'm going to salt and pepper this one as well. Remember, layers, it builds your flavors. Don't just add salt to the end of everything you're doing, or to the beginning. You cook in layers. Okay, so eating apples on a regular basis has the potential to reduce insulin resistance, which should lead to lower blood sugar levels. This is because the polyphenols, I think I'm saying that right, in apples, which are primarily found in apple skin, stimulate your pancreas to release insulin and help your cells take in sugar. So they do have apple chips as well, which I was going to try to send you guys some if I could find some. A lot of the apple chips, however, have a lot of sugar in them because of the way they're processed. But if I can find some that don't have any sugar added, I know up here we have lots of brands of that, but you guys down there, I don't know if you do. But if I can find one, I'll include it. But I will be sending you some apples and some apple chips if I can find them. Mom, I know you love banana chips, but bananas are very starchy, and very sweet. And you want to stay away from starchy foods. Again, because that raises your blood sugar, so you don't want to have bananas. I love bananas. I eat a banana every day, every day for breakfast. But as a diabetic, you'll want to stay away from them or eat in moderation. Everything in moderation. As long as you can manage it, you should be okay. The next one is, so I was curious about tomatoes, because I've heard that tomatoes and carrots have a lot of sugar in them and they're really bad for diabetics. So I Googled tomatoes, and because Google is very informative. I use Google a lot in school. It's not like, Google, what is this? Anyway, tomatoes are not high in sugar. And this comes from sutterhealth.org. And this is just a little news clipping describing foods that diabetics can eat. That's what all of these are from. They're just little article clippings. Tomatoes are not high in sugar, and neither are carrots. Tomatoes, similar to carrots, are considered non-starchy vegetable in meal planning for diabetes. This means that the amount of naturally occurring sugar is minimal in a serving. So you can definitely have tomatoes, definitely have carrots. I didn't look up if avocados were good either, but avocados do have a lot of fat in them, but a lot of avocados, not a lot of avocados. Avocados have good fat, but still you don't want to go and eat like a whole barrel of avocados. I would like to say that avocados are starchy. I don't know. You'll have to look that up. I'm only saying that because of the guacamole. I should have looked that one up. Actually, maybe I will while we're waiting for our onions. Again, I apologize if these videos are long. I'm just not editing them. So yeah, they are going to be a little bit longer. At least you'll get to spend 45 minutes to an hour of your day listening to my voice, watching me. Hopefully they're entertaining. So let's see, let's Google. Is our avocados good for diabetes? It won't cause spikes in blood sugar. They discovered that avocados do not significantly impact blood sugar levels. Part of what makes avocados a good choice for people with diabetes is that although they are low in carbs, they are high in fiber. Many other high fiber foods may spike blood sugar levels, which we know. I thought high fiber was good. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely think that you need to do some research into what is good. I know, Dad, you like to cook, but you don't at the same time. And Mom, you're kind of the same way. That's why I kind of thought having a meal prep service would be good. It doesn't take very long to make them. They already tell you what they're doing. They give you the ingredients. You just have to keep some extra meat and some extra sides, like extra rice or squash or extra vegetables on hand to sort of make it enough, which is what I do. I keep a lot of that stuff on hand. Markdowns. I buy a lot of rice because Louie loves rice, so we have a lot of rice on hand. I buy extra boxes of pasta that I find on markdown. I shop our store is great for markdowns. And markdowns don't mean it's bad. It just means maybe they had too much of the product, and instead of putting it on sale, they just said, "Oh, let's slap a reduced sticker on it, get rid of it." So it doesn't always mean that it's bad or it's expired. A lot of times it's just they have a lot, they just need to get rid of it type of thing. Marking it down is a faster solution than just going upstairs, doing a price change, making a sign. But yeah, anyway, not that you guys need to know all that. So it's going to actually have, well, at this point my onions look nice and browned. At this point I would probably add the meat back, but I'm going to add my garlic. I love garlic so much. It probably shows that I am not a vampire because I love garlic so much. I put it in everything, just about. Nice big spoonful of garlic. Yes, I'm not a real chef because I don't chop my own garlic. So what? This is easier, faster, same thing. I don't care. Judge me. So we'll let that cook. And while that's cooking, I will add the meat back. Wow, I don't know if you can see how wet this paper towel is and how much oil it absorbed. Yeah, I always do this. And then I don't have greasy tacos or greasy flautas afterwards. It's just healthier. Okay, so we've added that back in. Picking my towel again so it fell. Like, staple this towel to the thing. Stay. Okay, so you add the meat back in, you got the garlic, everything's looking yummy. Hopefully these plated up better than that couscous. I do apologize, the picture looked a lot better. I should have plated it in a bowl, like the picture, so it looked nice. It just looked very good. But it was good, I promise you. The chicken especially was really good. Had a lot of flavor. I'll label my videos so you don't watch this one first and not know what the heck I'm talking about. Okay, so after that, we then add tomatoes, a tablespoon of water, the barely there tomatoes that I've got. Oops. Uh-oh, that's even less. Oh, there's one on the floor there for Oscar. He loves tomatoes. And then my tablespoon of water, which will evaporate as soon as it hits the pan. I don't know why it's just a tablespoon. And then it says salt and pepper again. I'm just using a little bit, layers. I don't want to add too much. Stir until it thickens. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen because we're not adding starch to this. No, there's no water here at all. Why add a tablespoon? That's just a waste. All this liquid's going straight up to the bottom of my microwave. Why bother? Okay. And then it says to stir in the chimichurri sauce. Actually, because I'm going to start making this, start rolling this, and I don't want to burn my fingers off, so I'm going to turn this off. And I will add the packet of chimichurri. Where has my Spanish accent gone? Probably stayed in Arizona where I loved it. We'll get back to the good for you diabetic stuff. I was trying to look up stuff to get you guys that would be relative and welcoming, things that are encouraging to help you eat healthier. Nothing that I can make videos so much with, just to help you get started. Although I'm hoping, Dad, you've already done some research because it's been months since you were diagnosed, and I'm sure you haven't lived on Jack in the Box hamburgers since then. At least I hope you haven't. I'm hoping you have learned a little bit about what you can eat. But also I'm hoping that maybe I'm giving you some ideas or just giving you some knowledge that I've learned so far to help out. Okay, so that's the sauce. So now we just start making these things. Here's the tortillas. I'm going to turn my pan on back here. I'm going to turn it on probably about medium low just for now, just so it warms up, but I'm not smoking it yet. I obviously don't want it to smoke while I put these in, but I do want it to be warm. I always have to double check. Rear, because sometimes I'll turn on the front one and I'm like, why is my hand burning? Duh. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to throw some stuff in the trash because I don't edit. Then I could use my plate again. Yay. Cut open my cheese. Oops. I'm assuming from experience that the guacamole and sour cream is afterwards. So we will double check. Divide cheese evenly between tortillas. Place on 1/2. Top cheese with filling. Full tortilla. Oh yes, it's your toppings. The holy guacamole and the sour cream are your toppings. So we will obviously not be adding those to our filling. Oh, can you see that? I can't really get much closer to the camera because my camera is closer to a hot burner, and I don't think you're going to be able to see my counter right there. These videos are not great for visual reference. You'll just have to listen to my voice and trust me that this is going correctly, accurately. I'm gonna add enough to coat the bottom of the pan. So yeah, I hope everything is going well. Louie and I have not been able to get out yet and look at Christmas lights. With school and work, it's just, and then doing all this baking and tamale making, it's just been a little busy. But we were hoping to get out tomorrow night. Just hoping to get out and look at some lights in our neighborhood. We missed a lot of the events that Portland has for Christmas. We did catch the Christmas boats for they sail down the Willamette River. We did miss that, but well, we caught a little bit of it, but we missed the actual shorefront show that they do. So I'm gonna add a little bit, just kind of like a nice, I know you can't see that, nice sort of like hefty pinch of cheese. They usually give you a decent amount of cheese for these things. And sometimes I'll even have a little bit of meat left over, so I've got some extra tortillas in the fridge that I can grab and use for that just in case. I tend to go lighter with the filling than I think they anticipate, just because I want to make sure I have enough filling tortilla ratio thing going on. So I can hear someone eating. Nope, no one's eating. Oscar's sitting in front of the heater. I guess he's chased Dottie away. What is that noise? Dottie better not be doing something bad. I'm sure she is. I should have put her in our kennel. But anyway, hopefully she's not doing anything bad. I know you guys love Dottie, so let's trust her. So put a nice little scoop. Maybe a little bit more. I would say that's probably good. Let me show you guys a little closer here. Oops. So you have the cheese on the bottom and then the filling, so that's about a good amount. If it falls out, great. It's too much. Put it in another one. Who cares? That's not quite well. Let's turn this up now that we're in the rolling making time. So your first one is always, they always taught us in culinary school that your first one is always the mistake. It's always your sample. So if you do your first one wrong, now you know what to do it the next time. Too bad life doesn't work like that, right? Yes, I am falling out a little, but that's okay because I can use the filling for the next one. I do, however, maybe I'll just put it on the stove. Need some, no, I don't want to have to clean that. It's all right. I guess I'll just clean it. Move this over. We'll put that there, and then do another one. So, while we're doing this, let's see if I have some more diabetic tidbits for you. After that's it. That's all I had for you. I'm sure I'll have more maybe down the line. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Okay then. Let's see. I'm all of a sudden having a brain fart now that I'm under pressure to think, which happens fairly often. It's like that moment you get when you're in public and everyone's looking at you because they're expecting you to answer, and you're like, "Don't look at me. I don't know what to say." So these are rolled. I guess I should have explained how to roll in case you were wondering. Yes, your filling is going to be hot, but you want to roll the tortilla over the filling, catch as much of it as you can to keep it from falling out, kind of gently push in while you're rolling your tortilla over, and then you'll use your tortilla to push that even a little farther as you roll tightly to the end. I know my verbal communication is not as good as visual, but promise me it works. I mean, I promise you it works. Yes, promise me. Promise me. I promise I'm not drunk. Okay. I might actually have some filling left over. I do have some prepared tortillas. So, got some great gifts from some coworkers. My friend Olivia, who's my lunch buddy, who's actually Dottie's new best friend. Dottie loves her. I'm so thankful. Now we can finally go places, and so Dottie's gonna be approved. Daddy's gonna say, yeah, that's okay. Like, come on, you can do your thing. I'll stay here with her. So she gave me a really nice set of towels for my kitchen that say Bon Appetit. Very, very classy, very pretty. I really like them. And then another coworker got me a back massage. Not where you actually go in and someone massages your back. No, it's more of like one of those little, like, kind of things. I tend to carry a lot of stress in my left shoulder, and she said that she noticed I was kind of tending to that a lot, like kind of rubbing my own shoulder. And so she got me a little massager, which I thought was super nice and very, what's the word? Like, she recognized that. I thought that was really sweet. Beyond that, I got some pumpkin bread. Some, another friend of mine made some vegan tamales, which they were super cool. I appreciated, I've never had flavors like that before, so I really appreciated what she did. She used a regular masa, of course without the lard because they were vegan, so no meat. And she did jackfruit, which if you are doing pork substitute, you can use spices and marinades and stuff to make jackfruit look and the taste and texture a lot like pork. So she used that and jackfruit in place of pork in her tamales, and it was really good. I mean, eating it, you could tell it was fruit. You could tell it wasn't pork just by eating it, but the flavor was really there. It was oddly chewy, which I wasn't expecting, but it was still really good. And then she did a vegan cheese, and I think she did one with black beans. It seemed like she had done either black beans or pinto beans, and that one was pretty good. I'm not sure I would ever have a tamale made with beans again. I mean, it was good, just maybe not my, since I'm not a huge fan of tamales anyway, maybe that's just not my, not my forte. Oh look, I actually made it. I used all of the filling, not all of the cheese, but that's okay. I can add the cheese in the end as like a little special, little extra taste. My pan is starting to smoke. I don't want you to smoke yet. I need to wash my hands, get myself situated. You are not allowed to smoke yet. Let me wash my hands really quick. Pick up my towel again. I'm actually going to move, put this in the sink. Always be careful when you're touching a hot pan in the back with your bare hands. I burned myself big time in culinary school doing that, but it's not so smart. Yeah, Ashley, I should have noticed that instead of grabbing across 4 burners on fire. Where was my brain that day? Certainly not in school. I'm going to move this to this burner, just so it's a better visual. I came prepared with all these spoons and I didn't even use them today. That's okay. Okay, we'll put this on number 4. It's nice and hot. I'm going to test one. So we're going to set this in the pan with our seam side down. So that will seal your seam first. That way when you roll them, they won't come apart. Okay. At least that's the theory. You know, most of the time it works. We'll see. If not, maybe I'll just be eating some, crispy tortillas with some filling. Cheese, right out of the pan. Whatever, I'm the one that's gonna eat it, so I'm sure that you will do better. So this recipe makes 6 flautas. Oh, I have a little left over. a little leftover piece of meat and a little leftover pinch of cheese. I need to clean. And I grab a paper towel. Clean as you go. It'll be less cleanup in the end. Just making sure I got all my stuff here. Some garlic. I use the paper towels a lot. I know, Mom, paper towels are expensive. I know you don't really like using them too much, but I don't buy paper towels very often. And when I do, they're on markdown. Mostly because I catch the receiver in the morning who does all the markdowns. And a lot of the times if the packaging gets torn in freight, they just stick some tape over it and mark it down. I'm like, it's fine. That's how I get a whole bunch of toilet paper. I'm sure you guys don't have that option at your store, but that's probably why you see so many reduced stickers in my house, because I'm great friends with the markdown lady. She drives up to my department with her cart, and I'm like, oh yay, what do you have today? Okay, I'm gonna clean this up. Okay, now we're just waiting. This is why these videos are 45 freaking minutes long. I'm already at 41 minutes. Yeah, this is probably gonna be about an hour. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry these are long. At least I'm hoping that I'll make these more entertaining by being long. Am I ready? I am ready. Oh, look at that. It's sealed. I don't have to eat my filling out of the pan. That cheese is really holding it together. Gotta just rotate these so they get a nice little even cooking on all sides. And if you feel like you need more oil, that one's not quite ready yet. If you feel that you need more oil, you can add just a little bit more. But remember, we're trying not to have things super greasy here, but you also don't want your flautas to stick in the pan. Sorry, I had a brain fart. That happens quite a bit. Sorry, Dottie's right here too. I don't know if you guys can see her. She's very much like, what are you doing? Can I eat that? If you drop it on the floor, I'll get it. I promise I'll clean it up. I'm just scooting these all over to make sure I have room in the pan for another one, because I have two more over here that I want to cook. Alright, so let's see, what else can I talk about while we are waiting for these to cook? Or cook on the seam side down first. I'm still gathering, wait, I lost my doubt. I'm still gathering a cart full of items for you guys. I was at work today and I was trying to think, what could a diabetic eat? So I made a list, Googled a few things, and I'm gonna search to see if your store actually carries them, because I remember in Arizona and you guys don't carry a lot of the same foods that we have up here. Excuse me. So, although I have all these wonderful ideas of these things for you to try, I might have to see if you actually carry them. So I'm still working on that list. That's not quite done yet. Yeah, I'm still working on the list. I also want to go through and try to find some coupons for all this stuff, because that's how I shop. I shop with either reduced product or I shop with coupons. Didn't buy a whole lot of things without one or the other. Especially since food prices have gone up. And food in Portland is really expensive. You'd be amazed at how much food in Walmart costs compared to Fred Meyer. It's oddly more expensive for a lot of things. Not just everything, but a lot of things. I know, shocking, huh? You wouldn't think Walmart was like that. Okay, this guy's not ready yet. I'm going to get a plate to plate this up on. I should have been that prepared. See, I'm still not prepared. Get to stare at my nice background. They're almost there. I've flipped them on their last. Oh wait, no, they have one more leg. One more leg. Sorry, these are long. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna try to finish up your list tonight and send it, and then find a good pickup time for you, Dad, and then yeah, post these videos, and then you get to listen to me yammer on for an hour and cook. Yeah, I would have liked to have done more than just 2 videos, but I've got a lot of other things that I'm doing. I still have to finish making my last batch of tamales. They came out super, super fat because the package that I bought, the leaves were just huge. And I wanted to, this year, instead of making a bunch of single leaves, or husks I should say, I wanted to double them up so that they would cook better. Because I usually end up having to cook them for hours, like staying up past midnight cooking them. And that's the one thing I hate about making tamales, is how long they take. So I thought if I double wrapped them, then a lot of that moisture wouldn't be able to kind of get in and make them soggy. That was kind of my whole goal, is that why I continue to cook them so long is that they stay very soggy for so long. I kind of wish that I never had anyone there with me when I was learning how to make these. So a lot of what I'm doing is sort of what I learned on my own. And I found recipes on my own as I've gone along, and I've changed things and improved them and added stuff here and there. So I feel like I finally found a good recipe that works well. I just need to find a good cooking temperature and vessel. This ginormous pot that I had that was here yesterday is perfect for tamales, but the smaller one that I also have does take longer. And you can't jam pack your pot with tamales either, because that takes even longer. Yeah, I'm just sort of figuring out my whole tamale process and trying to get these done accurately. Or at least they come out good. Louise says they came out really, really good this time, but they are fatter, so I do have less of them. The recipe made 16 dozen, but I'm pretty sure I only got about half of that out of it. So I've got to wrestle Louie for some of that. But like I said, I do have more to make, which I'll probably just make them tonight and then cook them on a later date, just so I can have some to send. So these are nice and brown. If you do this in the oven, you obviously won't have to rotate it. They don't get browned all the way around, but they get a nice brown on the bottom and a nice brown on the top, and it is enough to like give it this nice crispiness for the most part all the way around. Because you kind of line them up similar to what I'm doing here in the tray. Yeah, but I do, and I'm sure these are going to be great. But yeah, I do definitely like using the oven. My chef manners, since I didn't do a taste test last time, I'm a little leery because these are so hot. I don't know if I want to burn my mouth. We'll hold on a second. And add just a teeny bit more oil just to carry my last one through, because I do have one more left on my plate here that you can't see to cook. That one's almost done. It's got one more side to rotate. There we go. And then I have a few little pieces of filling just like here on my plate that I'll add. This is going to be a wonderful dinner. I'm actually just a little hungry. And then I always add, when they give me guacamole instead of cream, I always add just a little as I'm eating it. So I will probably not open these and do that for you. I'm sure you'll know what to do when you get them. And yes, I do expect you, Dad, Mom, whoever does this, I do expect you guys to cook this, because I am not wasting my time and money for you guys not to cook these. I did this so that you guys could have some help in figuring it out. And with my very low level of diabetic education, I'm hoping that I'm sharing something with you and that you will actually cook these with some carb-free tortillas. But yes, the one that I'm sending you, the other one that I'm sending you, I forget what it comes with, but it is salmon. And I picked it because I know that you guys do love seafood. But even if it comes with rice or whatever, you can still substitute whatever it comes with something else. A lot of these meal kits come with white rice, but you could substitute it with brown rice. I mean, brown rice, I think, brown rice is cheaper than white rice. And every time I've had to buy brown rice, it's always been cheaper than white rice. You know, because white rice is better than brown rice, I guess, in my opinion. But I do have some brown rice in the cupboard, but I don't want to obviously use that. This will be plenty for just me and my lunch tomorrow. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well in hot, sunny Arizona and Yuma. I'm not envious of your weather at all. I actually have, although it's cold, I do love the snow and ice and the 4 seasons we get up here. It's really lovely. It's definitely a nice treat to have. A little dangerous adding and driving in my car, but I've become more cautious as I have done some things to my car to make it more valuable, I guess, or last longer. I don't know. So I am a bit more cautious, and I always make sure that the morning that I drive is not freezing temperatures, so that I can actually make it to work without slipping and sliding and, yes, saying hello to a tree. So yeah, I'm being more cautious about my driving, and if I can't make it in, then Louie and I work out our schedules. My car is running great. I do need to take it in for an oil change, because I know you're going to ask me all these. I need to get a few things fixed, but nothing major, I hope. And get some systems flushed, which I'll be contacting you to figure out what those are, because I forgot what you said. I'm sorry. Unless I write it down, I can't remember what it is. Taking this pan off the heat. Turning off the heat. And then I'm going to sprinkle the last of my cheese on it, because that cheese will melt over the flautas. And it'll just make it even better. Or I could have given it to Dottie, but you snooze, you lose, Dot. Actually, no, you don't get anything. Sorry, trash. Okay, here they are. Excuse me, Dottie. Watch out. Move it, Dottie. Here they are. Ooh, almost lost one. Here they are. They look really great. They smell really good. Let's see, which one's not that hot? These are all really hot. That was super hot. Let's try this one. Take the smaller end of it. Okay, I think that looks really good. It's really crunchy. It's just really nice. I have good flavor. It's probably just the right amount of salt. I know some people who have a saltier palate will probably say to add more salt, but I like this. You could, if you wanted to make it a little bit saltier, you could add some salt to the guacamole as you're eating it. That would probably be really good. But yeah, I mean, that turned out really great. I like the Home Chef meals. They are a lot tastier than the HelloFresh, but they know it uses a lot of for example, HelloFresh uses a lot of pre-made type of sauces and stuff, whereas these guys don't really use that much. They're very simple, very basic, very not healthier kind of oriented, goal related oriented. Anyway, okay, this video is at 55 minutes. I'm sorry it's so long. It was very nice to do these for you guys. I am sorry that they are so long because I'm not editing. I've always wanted to try to do these for you, but every time I'm making a HelloFresh meal, I'm thinking, damn, I should have recorded this so they could see what I'm doing. But I always forget, and then dogs are crazy in the background, whatever. But I'll try to remember that a little bit more. Or sometimes I'll have my school book playing in the background. Anyway, talking too much. Video is over. I hope you guys enjoy these recipes. I hope you enjoy these kits that I'm sending you, and I hope by doing this that you guys have got some great knowledge and some good ideas to go with, some snacking ideas and some fruits and vegetables to eat and stay away from. Anyway, I hope this helps, and I hope this was a great Christmas gift, because I've been planning it for a couple of months, just kind of gathering my thoughts on what I wanted to do. And anyway, I love you guys, and thank you for watching these hour-long videos, and I look forward to sending you out what else I still have, but I will talk to you later. Bye guys.